Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is gonna be what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Sukuna and was evil incarnate. So yeah, guys, it is gonna be really OP as a series, and it is gonna be really fun. So hopefully, you guys will enjoy this series. And before starting this video, I would like to tell you guys about my new Naruto channel. The name of the channel is gonna be Scarlet Stories. The link is in the description below. I have already uploaded many Naruto series on this channel. So if you guys want to, the link is in the description below. And yeah guys, please subscribe to this channel as well. It would be really great help to me. So please guys do so. And yeah guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be really helpful to me. So yeah guys, without wasting any more of your time, let us start the story. So I'm gonna start my story with a figure with white hair and blue armor was sent flying through the trees. He was bleeding from the mouth as well as his chest has long gashes as the figure tried to stand up. Damn it, he's too powerful, older brother. This figure was none other than Tobirama Senju, who at the moment was bleeding all over his body. On the side, two figures could be seen trying to stand up. These figures were none other than the legendary figures of the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, second Hokage, Tobirama Senju, as well as Madara Uchiha. At the moment, all of them seems to be beaten up pretty badly and bleeding all over. Hashirama was a bit better thanks to his healing abilities, but at the moment, he was also looking quite exhausted as Madara spoke up. Hashirama, we have to do it. We do not have time for this. As Hashirama gritted his teeth, finally another figure started to walk towards them. Well, look at that. Isn't this the so-called god of shinobi? Is that all, Hashirama? I thought the husband of my sister would be stronger than this, as finally the figure of this purely evil person finally came to the standing as dark red hair as well as dark red eyes. This was none other than the menace, the pure evil incarnate of the Uzumaki clan, Naruto Uzumaki, the brother of Mito Uzumaki. At the moment, he was looking towards these three legendary figures and looking down upon them. All of his wounds has already healed as he was looking towards Hashirama. As Hashirama gritted his teeth as he looked towards Madara. Alright, do it. As Madara smirked at that, it is time for him to bring out his trump card, as well as Hashirama started to make hand signs quickly. Finally, both of them spoke at the same time, summoning jutsu, and just like that, 9 gigantic figures appear from the smoke as the smirk on Naruto's face finally widened even further. In front of him were the figures of 9 bijus, as well as 2 of the most powerful figures in this generation, Madara and Hashirama, as Madara had 9 tails with Sharingan in his eyes, and Hashirama, thanks to his boot style, was able to control all the other 8 bijus. Even the one tail, which was captured by the Sand Village, was borrowed by Tobirama. As Tobirama also stood up as he said, damn it, we have to stop him no matter what. He will end the world of the shinobi, his pure evil brother. Do not hold back anymore. As he screamed at the top of his lungs, as Hashirama had determination in his eyes, as he looked towards Naruto. You are like my brother, but for the good of the shinobi world and for the good of my newly founded village Konoha, I will stop you here. I might be sorry for Mito, but it has to be done. As he was standing on the head of his newly formed Buddha as Naruto burst into laughter. Hashirama, do you honestly believe that I care about that woman, Mito? Nothing but weaklings, not worthy. In my eyes, I will kill you and your so-called companions here, and afterward I will pay a visit to your beloved village as well. When Hashirama heard it, anger flashed in his eyes, but finally he calmed down. Alright then, you forced me to do this, Naruto, but I will stop you here no matter what. Finally, as the sage marking started to appear on his face, wood style Buddha of 1000 arms, finally you can say a whole ground started to shake and a gigantic figure of 1000 arms Buddha finally brought out. Even Madara was taken aback with this kind of power. He never thought that Hashirama could bring out this kind of power. He was a bit scared. After all, he still had plans for the future, but he simply shook his head. Maybe Hashirama would also die in this battle. That would be the perfect opportunity for him to capture all the 9 bijus here and use it to, you can say, finally further his future plans. But Hashirama and Naruto Uzumaki, these two figures must die today, he thought in his mind. While on the other hand, Madara also activated his perfect Susanoo and covered up the 9 tails as all the 9 Biju started to prepare the Biju Dharma as Naruto started burst into laughter. Yes, bring out your full power, Hashirama. Madara, bring it on. After saying that, he slammed his hand together, pure dark energy. It was like cursed energy, but it was not exactly chakra, but similar. While the chakra was also mixed in all around the surrounding, the energy started to rush towards Naruto. This is the new trick I learned. I call it the cursed sage energy. Afterward, his whole body started to change as his aura skyrocketed. Even Hashirama's eyes widened, as well as Madara. As Madara screamed, "Hashirama, do it now!" As Hashirama gritted his teeth, as even the 9 tails has prepared his Bijudama, as well as all the other Bijus as they released their Bijudama towards Naruto as Naruto burst into laughter as he said, "Yes, I could feel the power," as he pointed his hand towards all the 9 Bijudamas coming towards him as he laughed, finally dismantle, as even though this technique was quite lowly technique in his arsenal, but thanks to the sage cursed energy, it was now on a true level. Even when the Bijudama was not far too distance away from Hashirama and Madara as Naruto released his technique, the Bijudama, who was still in the mid-air, was simply shattered into 1,000 pieces and was blown off far too near to these figures, and just like that, a huge explosion took place. Madara and Hashirama were taken aback as they quickly covered up with their ultimate techniques. Tobirama quickly teleported away as Naruto laughed and rushed towards all the other Bijus. His aura once again erupted as chains appeared out of nowhere, grabbing all the 8 Bijus at the same time as Hashirama was taken aback as Madara quickly swung his sword trying to cut off these chains. But to his utter shock, even the 9 tails was being captured by these chains. But Madara quickly used his Mangekyo so that the Kyuubi could dodge the attack as Hashirama said, "Enough!" With that, he released all of his chakra and all of his 1,000 arms rushed towards Naruto as Naruto pointed his hand towards Hashirama. Ultimate, infinite, dismantle. Just like that, the 1,000 arms of Hashirama's technique turned into pure dust. Even Hashirama was taken aback. This was his full power, his ultimate move. He was confident that he can take down Madara's perfect Susanoo and the 9-tailed Bijus at the same time with this single technique. But it was destroyed so easily as Naruto made a single gesture and a dark black flames appeared in his hand. It made an arrow shaped and rushed towards Madara's 9-tail. As Madara was taken aback, the attack was simply too fast. Even though it was black flames, it was not exactly Amaterasu. No, it was far darker and different. As the attack quickly hit the 9 tails into the chest, destroying. It was not exactly destroying his Susanoo, no. It was as if it was eating away the chakra of the Susanoo as well. As the Kyuubi let out a roar of pain and the chain once again appeared, grabbing his neck. As Naruto started to laugh, "It is time for me to take over, Madara Hashirama. You're not powerful enough to take me down, so die." As afterward, he slashed toward the chest of Madara. Madara tried to stop it, but it was a bit too late for that, as Madara let out a scream of pain. His arm was cut off directly, as well as there was a huge wound on his chest. As Madara screamed at that, he activated his Mangekyo, trying to put Naruto in a genjutsu, as Naruto simply scoffed at that. As he looked towards Hashirama, who was rushing towards him with full speed, as Naruto simply smirked at that, as he also rushed towards Hashirama. Both of them clashed at the same time, and the result was same as he expected, as his slash was something else. once again almost cut off the arm of Hashirama like Madara, but Hashirama was different. His healing factor was nothing to scoff at. Within seconds, all of his wounds were already healed off. As Naruto said, that is interesting. As once again, both of them started to fight with each other. Naruto was using purely slash and toying with Hashirama, while on the other hand, Hashirama was already exhausted. He had already used last bit of his chakra and energy into that attack, and now it seems that he was on his last leg as Madara also tried to activate his Susanoo, but he had already used too much chakra, especially covering up the nine tails was not exactly an easy feat. While on the other hand, all the nine bijus were on the ground, seething. These black chains came out of nowhere and they were trying to make some kind of contract with them, and they were unable to resist at this point. As Naruto laughed, well, I suppose it ends here, Hashirama. Madara, after I am done with you, I will definitely pay a visit to my dear sister, as well as that beloved village of yours. As Hashirama tried to say something, but he was simply too exhausted at this point, as Naruto moved his hand and a weapons started to appear in the hand of Naruto, ready to cut Madara and Hashirama down, but a voice came out of nowhere. Enough of this! As Naruto looked back to see, it was none other than his beloved older sister. As a cruel smile came to Naruto's face. Well, sister. So, you decided to pay me a visit, huh? I thought after marrying, you forgot about your dear little brother. As Mito at the moment was looking towards Naruto with pure anger in her eyes, as well as a bit of sadness, but determination was still in her eyes. Naruto, you have gone too far. For years, you have wreaked havoc on this world. And now you have gone too far, even attacking the village and attacking my husband. As Naruto simply laughed at that. Now come now, sister, don't be like that. Even your beloved husband has killed off around 1,000 of people, same with his best friend. So what if I have killed off few people? As Mito gritted her teeth. That is not the point, Naruto. You have gone too far. And for this time, our clan will never forgive you. As Naruto simply raised an eyebrow at that. Oh really no, sister? What are you exactly gonna do? Fight me? Huh? Are you even worthy? At this, Mito simply shook her head. I may not be worthy, Naruto, but they are. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, looking back, it seemed that he was surrounded. Well, he never saw that coming, or did he? As he looked towards, all of them were redheads. All of them had huge scrolls on their backs. Naruto raised an eyebrow at that. What are you exactly gonna do? Fight with me? Huh, they may be my clansmen, but Naruto Uzumaki looked down upon them, nothing more than ants, which I can crush any time. So what are you exactly gonna do, huh? As he looked towards all of them. All of them were Uzumaki and they were looking towards Naruto as if they were looking towards pure evil. Finally, a older figure stepped forward. This was none other than Ashina Uzumaki. He was the current head of the Uzumaki clan and the father of Mito. And Naruto Uzumaki, he looked towards Naruto with sadness and anger in his eyes. Naruto, I have tolerated you for years and now, this time, your sister is right. You are a threat to the elemental nation. You are a threat to the peace of this world. And for that, I will never forgive you. For that, my son, today I will end you here. Naruto burst into laughter. Huh, you and what army? As Ashina simply shook his head as he gave a signal, as all the other Uzumakis, they were around 300 Uzumaki surrounding Naruto. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, suddenly a flash appeared in front of Naruto, as Naruto simply backhanded the kunais that were thrown at him. This was none other than Tobirama. He quickly grabbed Madara and Hashirama and teleported away, as Naruto was a bit intrigued, wondering what they're gonna do. After all, his black chains has already made contracts with all the 9 bijus and now they were under his command. He was about to make these bijus attack these people, wanted to see what they will do, but suddenly several chains appear out of nowhere, grabbing all the 9 bijus. These were the experts of the Uzumaki clan, using their adamantial chains to subdue these bijus. As Naruto looked towards these people, ready to make his move, but suddenly Ashina spoke up. Now, with that, all the scrolls, 300 scrolls, were opened and chakra was put into it. Suddenly, a dome of chakra appeared, as well as the runes rushed toward the area where Naruto was standing. Naruto was taken aback. After all, he was expecting a fight, not something like this. But suddenly, chains appeared from the seals, rushed towards Naruto as Naruto simply scoffed, dismantled. With that, several of them were turned into ashes, but more and more of them were coming. As Naruto dodged few of them, but suddenly few of them finally got him. As Naruto was surprised, these chains were able to subdue his cursed chakra. Even the natural cursed chakra was being put out of his body. Naruto was surprised. How is this even possible? Ashina spoke up. We knew about your different from a very young age, Naruto. Your evil personality. You are truly cursed, my child. And for that, I am sorry. But you have to be put down. Otherwise, this world will never know peace. And for that, I am truly sorry. He has worked hard with the experts of the Uzumaki clan for years. And he has finally able to prepare this ultimate seal. He was confident that this seal could even put off all the 9 bijus at the same time. Even Madara and Hashirama. But no, exceptions. This seal was made by the sage of the sixth part in the older times to subdue a more powerful evil at that time, and they have worked on it to improve it even further. Naruto was truly surprised, but more and more chains were now coming towards him, trying to suppress him as Naruto scoffed. Do you honestly believe that these chains can hold me? As suddenly more and more energy rushed to rush from his body. It was truly pure evil. Even the nature around Naruto was now dying. As he laughed, you cannot seal me off. I'm an immortal. As he screamed at the top of his lungs, several of the chains were already broken off. But these Uzumakis were no vegetarian as they were pushing more and more chakra. And finally, Naruto looked towards them with pure evil intention in his eyes. This seal cannot hold me forever, father. One day I will be free, and that day will be the time I will end you all. As a scream. At that, finally, this seal was completed, and a box of pure black energy was formed at the center of it. Finally, Naruto Uzumaki, the evil incarnate, the king of the curses, was finally sealed off as Ashina finally grabbed his chest from the heart area as he kneeled on the ground. As finally Mito looked towards her father, as she rushed towards Ashina. As Ashina simply shook his head. Do not worry, my daughter. I've used up all of my life energy to seal off Naruto. That seal will need the hard work of the Uzumaki clan. It will be returned back to the Uzumaki island for every 10 years. The Uzumaki clan members will push chakra into that seal so that that person will never be freed. He is truly immortal as long as his cursed energy is left behind. He can be revived. So you must never let him be freed, Mito. As Mito was crying, but she had to understand, after all, this was the sacrifice of the Uzumaki clan. This was the sacrifice of her father. And finally, Ashina closed his eyes. He has finally died. As Hashirama and Madara, who were also on their last legs, finally stood up. Thanks to the healing abilities of the Uzumaki clan, all they had to do is to bite some of the members of the Uzumaki clan so that they could be healed. As Madara looked towards Hashirama, who was weakened but still alive, and looked towards the black box. He was truly scared today. He had tried everything, even the power of the cube, even Hashirama, all of the 9 bijus combined. They were barely able to take down Naruto. Well, it is not exactly the same. They did not took him down. It was actually the sealing art of the Uzumaki clan. As he looked toward the Uzumaki clan, these people were dangerous, but they were still required to keep that person sealed away if he want his plan in the future to come true. Then he had to consider many things, even though Uzumaki clan was dangerous, but he had to keep them around. As he simply shook his head, plans had to be made for the future. As Hashirama looked toward the black box, he wanted to seal it away, but he knew that Uzumaki clan was best suited for it. After all, they are the sealing masters. As he looked towards Ashina's dead body, some sorrow in his eyes, but understand the sacrifice. After all, he was the first Hokage, and sacrifices has to be made for the good of the village. Finally, this ordeal was done, but unknown to everyone. In the center of it, two eyes were finally opened and an evil, cruel smile came to this figure. "Do not worry, father. I will never let go of your sacrifice." As he started to burst into laughter, knowing full well that one day he will be free and that day is not so far away. So until then, he will simply rest here and absorb the evil and negative power of the shinobi world. After all, this is the world of the shinobi. Death, hatred roam free here, and as long as the hatred exists, he will always be there. As he smiled at that and closed his eyes. Now let us have a time skip. In the Hokage office, four figures could be seen sitting around each other. These figures were none other than the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, as well as his companions Danzo Shimura, as well as Mito and Koharu, as they were looking towards each other as Koharu speak up. "Hiruzen, are you sure about it?" As Hiruzen let out a puff of smoke, as he had a complicated look on his face. After all, he still remembered the warning of his sensei, Tobirama Senju. After all, when Tobirama was about to sacrifice himself, he told Hiruzen specifically that the Uzumaki clan cannot be touched, even though he wanted to do it in the second great ninja war to get rid of the Uzumakis. After all, they're expanding too fast and it is not far away that they will become the sixth great ninja village. And that was the reason that the third great ninja war has started too early. Even though the second great ninja war has ended around 7 years ago and they have already started the next great ninja war, none of the villages were ready for it. But they had to start it because the Uzumaki clan was getting too stronger. He wanted to get rid of the Uzumaki clan in the second great ninja war. But because the Mito Uzumaki put her foot down and told Hiruzen that if he did not have the Uzumaki clan, then he does not need to be the Hokage anymore. He was truly scared at that point. He thought that the Mito had truly become Senju Mito and will not care about the fate of the Uzumaki clan. But he was truly wrong about it and he was scared. So he allowed the help to go to the Uzumaki clan. He did not understand it after all. He was just a child back then, so he did not knew the horror of that person and what will happen if the Uzumaki clan was to be destroyed. As Hiruzen simply shook his head as he threw a scroll towards Koharu, Mito, and Danzo as they grabbed it and opened it. This was the seal scroll made by all the other four villages. And all the other cages had put their stamps on it. They have told Hiruzen Sarutobi that their enemy this time is only the Uzumaki clan. Uzumaki clan cannot be allowed to become the sixth great ninja village, otherwise they will not be able to handle the situation in their own villages. And they cannot allow a sixth great ninja village to be formed. So this time they have said so that they will destroy the Uzumaki clan. And if Konoha were to intervene in this matter, then they will also attack Konoha village with all of the might of the four great ninja villages. As Hiruzen let out a sigh, even though he was showing that he was sad. Actually, he was pretty happy. After all, Mito Uzumaki was now truly too old, and the QB has already about to be transferred to Kushina Uzumaki, so there's nothing Mito could do about the matter, and he was confident that Mito does not know about the situation, otherwise she would have come here long ago. So as long as the QB is transferred to Kushina, then all of these matter would be taken care of. Kushina is around 18 years old and this was time for her to become the new Jinchuriki, and they have already prepared everything. And he was a bit surprised Mito was holding on to life too quickly as if she did not want you to die, and he did not understand. After all, as far as you know, Mito was not that kind of person who liked to live on and did not want to die, but she was holding on desperately as if waiting for something, but he did not have time for this. As he looked towards all of them as Danzo spoke up, "I told you, Hiruzen, we should have gotten rid of the Uzumaki clan long ago. They are simply useless. How dare that single clan dare to think that they can become the sixth great ninja village? What will happen if the other clans like the Hyuga and the remnants of the Senju, as well as especially those Uchihas, were to heard about it? They will definitely make a fuss and trying to take more power from them, from the village, and they cannot allow such a situation. And they have to appease the other four villages, otherwise, this war, for which none of them were ready, would wage on even further. As Danzo speak up, so Hiruzen, what are you gonna do? We already have Kushina Uzumaki here, so even if the Uzumaki clan is destroyed, we will still have the Uzumakis as the sacrifice for the Kyuubi. As Hiruzen thought it for some time, and what of the Mito-sama? As Danzo scoffed at that, Mito is already old. We do not have to care about her anymore, even if she tried to make fuss. We have already grabbed all the power of Konoha in our hand firmly long ago, so we do not need to consider her anymore. Or are you still worried that she will make a fuss? As Hiruzen simply shook his head. Well, we have to think of Konoha as well. After all, the second great ninja war has ended only 7 years ago. Our village is not ready for the next war, so we cannot go on war. And we do not have shinobis to help the Uzumaki clan. As all of them looked towards each other and nodded, this time the Uzumaki clan is in for himself. As Hiruzen simply looked back towards the village from the window, you are dismissed. As everyone stood up and ready to leave, none of them noticed the evil glint in the eyes of Danzo as a smirk at that. He was the one who had spread the rumors around the Elemental nations that the Uzumaki clan wants to become the the sixth grade ninja village, and that was the reason that this war has started. But Danzo was confident that these villages will take care of the Uzumaki clan, and when they will be weakened, that will be time for Konoha to make its move and become even stronger. As a smirk at that damn King Uzumaki, he should have accepted his offer to join Konoha. How dare that a single Uzumaki clan think that they will become strong enough to challenge a hidden village? He knew pretty well that the Uzumaki clan was nowhere near strong enough to become the sixth grade ninja village. Yes, they have around 3,000 shinobis, but not all of those shinobis were combatants, and many of them were not even a member of the Uzumaki clan. Some small clans who have joined the Uzumaki village for their own benefit, and Danzo wanted the heritage of the Uzumaki clan, especially he had heard rumors about a specific artifact in the Uzumaki clan, and that was placed in the shrine of the Uzumaki clan, where all the Uzumakis put chakra into it from time to time. They have said it that a ultimate being was sealed inside of it, and Danzo wanted that thing for himself. He was confident that as long as he used his power to control that thing, he will be strong enough to become the Hokage. As a smirk at that, while on the other hand, in the Uzumaki village, a gigantic barrier was made up. As Kin Uzumaki, the current patriarch of the Uzumaki clan, he was looking towards the combat forces of the Uzumaki clan with a frown on his face. As he looked toward the messenger, did you deliver the message to the Hokage? What is Konoha saying? As the messenger looked towards his patriarch with complicated expression on his face, Lord Patriarch, the Hokage has said it that they will discuss it in the council, and they will deliver the result of the discussion to us as soon as possible. Other than that, I do not believe that the Konoha had any intention of helping us. As Kin frowned at that. Especially, he was confused. Where did the rumors about the Uzumaki clan becoming the 6th grade ninja village came from? Yes, they have around 3,000 shinobis, but that was nowhere near enough for other villages. After all, the other villages have at least 10,000 shinobis combat ready, and around 1,000 of them were, like you can say, paperwork and things like that. But they are also strong enough to participate in any war, while on the other hand, Uzumaki clan only had 3,000 shinobi, and many of them were from other smaller clans who have joined the Uzumaki village. And he did not knew that where these rumors came from, and he was unable to find who did it, but he knew that it was wrong. He had even sent messages to the other villages explaining the situation that they have no intention of becoming the 6th grade ninja village. Even if he wanted to, this small island does not have the resources to make a powerful shinobi village. Yes, the Uzumaki clan has long heritage, but that is that, and the resources are still required for a strong shinobi force to be formed, and they did not have it. As he gritted his teeth at that. And what of Mito-sama? Did you ask her for help as the shinobi simply shook his head. I'm sorry, Lord Uzumaki, but I was unable to make contact with the Uzumaki, Mito, the Konoha Ambu, and Root did not allow me. At this, Ken grated his teeth at that. Damn it, Hiruzen Sarutobi must be playing tricks. He had noticed in the second Great Ninja War when his uncle was in charge that Konoha did not want to help them. It was only because of Mito Uzumaki specifically explaining it to the Hokage. That was the reason that they sent the force for other villages to deter them, not to attack the Uzumaki clan otherwise. They would have died that day as he gritted his teeth at that. Finally, another shinobi entered into the room. Lord Uzumaki, I have something to tell you. As Ken looked towards him, what is it? As he spoke up in the shrine of the Uzumaki clan, that black box seemed to have made some cracks. As Ken's eyes widened at that. What did you say? As he quickly vanishes, as well as many of his advisors who are high-ranking members also froze at that. They also rushed toward the shrine of the Uzumaki clan, looking towards the box. Where are the other Uzumaki members? As the elites quickly arrived and started to pump chakra so that the cracks could be healed up. As King graded his state, this was truly bad timing. Yes, they have to pump chakra into it for at least 10 years from time to time, as well as if cracks were to be appear, they have to use a lot of chakra to recover it. After all, the elders of the Uzumaki clan are still alive from that era who have used the seals, even though many of them died because the seal that Ashina Uzumaki made but did not only use chakra and nature chakra, it also used the life force of the people, of the 300 people who had used up their life force to seal off Naruto Uzumaki. Only two of them were now alive. One was Mito Uzumaki and one was the great elder of the Uzumaki clan, and he was barely alive. But he still remembered the horror of that person, no matter what, even if the Uzumaki village were to be destroyed, never to be allowed back into the shinobi world. Otherwise, this whole world will pay the price for sealing that person away. As Kin finally let out a sigh of relief. Finally, a person arrived. Lord Patriarch, I have message from the Great Elder. He has stated that all of the Uzumaki clan members tomorrow have to use all of their chakra in the next ceremony to seal this box away once again. While on the other hand, Keen eyes widened. What are you talking about? Tomorrow is the day the forces of the other villages will arrive here. If we use all of our chakra to seal this box away, then what will happen to our clan? It is literally impossible, as all the other shinobis also arrive and use their chakra to seal this box away once again. As Kin simply shook his head, he was about to say something, but another voice appeared. Kin, you have to understand it. This is not just about the Uzumaki clan, as all of them look back to see the great elder has arrived. This is not just about the Uzumaki clan. That person who is sealed inside of this box is not any normal person. He is powerful enough to take down Hashirama Senju, Madara Uchiha, and all the 9 Bijus at the same time. He is the greatest evil in the shinobi world and cannot be allowed back into the world. Otherwise, everyone will die, no matter who he is. Especially the Uzumaki clan, as Kin had a complicated expression on his face. After all, this was his great grandfather, but he was now the patriarch and he had his own pride. As he simply shook his head, grandfather, you have to understand that I am the patriarch and I have a duty to protect the Uzumaki clan. I simply cannot use all the forces of the Uzumaki clan to seal a box away. Who knows, the person who is sealed inside of it could have died years ago by now. As the great elder simply shook his head, he wanted to explain it, but suddenly his chest, as he grabbed his chest, something was off. The box, as he looked back to see that the box was glowing and a black fog was coming from it. As the great elder grabbed his chest, as he grabbed the hand of Kin, no matter what, that person cannot be allowed free. As he wanted to say something, but finally his hand dropped down. He came too close, and that box was once again cracking. They have to do something. All the other Uzumakis looked towards each other and started to pump chakra into the ceiling array so that this box once again covered up the cracks. Askin grabbed the hand of his grandfather. He wanted to cry. After all, this was the person who had raised him for years, and he was now truly confused. As he simply shook his head, he had to make plans as soon as possible. As he looked towards the other people gathered the council. After saying that, he simply slouched away with the body of his grandfather so that the burial place could be made. After all, the village is ready for war and they cannot make a grand funeral, but they have to do what they have to do. Finally, it was time. As Kane looked towards the council, they finally made the decision that half of the forces of the Uzumaki clan will use their chakra to seal that box away, while only other forces will resist the invasion of the other four villages. They can only hope that this way they can preserve the dignity of the Uzumaki clan as well as seal that person away. They can only hope that the Uzumaki clan will get the help from Konoha village. While in Konoha, Mito Uzumaki looked towards Hiruzen Sarutobi with complicated expressions, as Hiruzen had just explained to her that it was time for next Jinchuriki to be made, and she knew pretty well that if she transferred the QB, she will definitely die. But she was thinking about her brother. After all, it has been some time. As she thought about it, in the Second Great Ninja War, Konoha did not want to help the Uzumaki clan, even though she was no longer called Mito Uzumaki but rather Senju Uzumaki. She still had feelings for her clan, but if it was only because of the feelings, she will feel that Konoha has done something wrong, but she will never turn her face away from Hiruzen and threaten him from the position of the Hokage. But she knew that her brother cannot be allowed free, so even if Hiruzen Sarutobi had to abdicate, then she will definitely do it. After all, emotions are secondary. She has explained it from time to time, as well as Tobirama had also explained the horror of that person, but they have not seen it with their eyes. In their eyes, Hashirama was the strongest existence and Madara was the second most powerful one, but they never knew the power of a brother. He was true evil, cannot be stopped. So, she had to force it using her last influence so that Konoha village once again helped the Uzumaki clan, and third Hokage and the elders of the village were not exactly happy about it, but there was little they could do about it. But that exhausted, lost of her influence, now she cannot help Uzumaki clan again. She has heard some rumors, but those are that rumors. She cannot confirm it. After all, she is bedridden and no longer can move any longer. As she sighed inwardly, she could only hope that in the future, Uzumaki clan will become powerful enough. After all, she has heard some rumors that Uzumaki clan is almost powerful enough to be called the sixth-rate ninja village. She was confused about these rumors. After all, she has lived from the era of the first Hokage, knowing pretty well that Uzumaki clan could become strong. It could become very, very strong, but it can never be powerful enough to challenge to become a sixth-rate ninja village. After all, the resources in the island of the Uzumaki clan are not enough to train an army over 10,000 shinobis. So she was confused about it, but she did not have the energy to investigate. And that was that. And finally, she looked toward the third Hokage. As she sighed, alright, I understand, Hiruzen. If it is for the good of the village, then I will do it. After all, I can feel that my bodily functions are finally declining. Even the seal that I have placed upon myself is now eroding away. So I suppose it is time for next Jinchuriki to be formed, as Hiruzen let out a sigh of relief. Honestly, Hiruzen did not want it to force the wife of the first Hokage to death, even if it means that the next Jinchuriki would be made. After all, she was still the wife of the first Hokage, even though he has forced the Senju clan to its death. But it was also for Konoha. After all, the Senju clan was too much of a threat, making two Hokages. Their prestige was simply too high, and if third Hokage wanted to be the Hokage for longer time, then the Senju clan had to die. Mito Uzumaki also understood it, so she had also turned a blind eye. After all, Senju clan could be important, but Konoha village was even more important to her husband, so she also turned a blind eye to the schemes of the third Hokage as well as the elders. But third Hokage still did not have the courage to take care of the Mito Uzumaki. Finally, you can say Mito looked towards Hiruzen. Hiruzen, I understand your feelings what happened in the second great ninja war, and I understand it that you may feel resentful towards me. After all, I did threaten you from to abdicate. But you have to understand that person, he's simply too evil. I know that you have seen the power of Hashirama and Tobirama and even Madara from the young age, but trust me, even they would never dare to cross that person. The Uzumaki clan is important to me, but it is not more important than Konoha village. The only reason I did that back then so that that person could be sealed away. If the Uzumaki clan were to die, then make no mistake, that person will come back. And that person is not someone anyone in the elemental nation could stop. So no matter what, Hiruzen, you may be dissatisfied with the Uzumaki clan, you may even weaken it, but the Uzumaki clan can never be extinct. Otherwise, that person will truly come back. As Hiruzen looked towards Mito Uzumaki with a complicated expression. He wanted to tell her, but he did not have the courage. After all, these are just rumors, and even if that person is powerful enough, is he powerful enough to take care of all the elemental nation? At the moment, all the forces of, including the Kages of the fourth great ninja villages are there, and even if he wanted to help, he did not have the courage to face all the other fourth great ninja villages at the same time. So he decided to keep his mouth shut, just hoping that these were just that rumors and that person who is sealed away was dead. Otherwise, he could not even imagine the horror that will fall upon the elemental nations. But he simply shook his head. He was a Hokage and he had to think of the village. He was sorry for Mito, but he cannot believe these rumors. After all, he has seen the power of Ashirama. He has seen the power of Madara Susanoo. He can never imagine that there was a person who is more powerful than all of these people combined. So he simply decided to say his farewell, and finally the ceremony of the Biju transfer finally occurred, and it was time for the Biju ceremony to be formed. While on the other hand, far away in the Uzumaki clan, Eskin Uzumaki looked towards as he looked toward the four cages in front of him, as well as his forces being slaughtered at the same time. In front of him were the newly formed alliance of the four villages, the third Kazekage, the third Tsuchikage, third generation of all the other cages were now standing in front of him. As Kane was on his knees, around him were the elite guards that were already dead. At this point, the four villages were not here to conquer the Uzumaki clan. No, they were here to end it permanently. As Kane stood up. Why? Why are you guys doing this? As Tsuchikage simply scoffed, how dare a smart Uzumaki clan think of becoming the sixth great ninja village? Do you even dare to deny it? As King grated his teeth, I do not know from where you heard these rumors, but can you honestly believe these rumors? Our small island do not have the resources to make a great ninja village, and our Uzumaki clan only have few combatants compared to the great villages. Of course, these rulers knew about it. After all, they did not believe the rumors, but it was a perfect excuse to get rid of the Uzumaki clan. They were far too powerful to be left alone, and especially they have the great sealing heritage and they wanted it, especially the third Raikage. He wanted to make the perfect Jinchuriki, and that was the reason he attacked the Uzumaki clan in the second Great Ninja War, but they were unable to get their hand on those sealing arts, and that was the reason for this new attack. And this time they will definitely get the sealing art. That was the reason they were here. They wanted to create the perfect Jinchurikis, and only the seals of the Uzumaki clan were powerful enough to create a perfect Jinchuriki. So Uzumaki clan has to die no matter what. The rumors were just that excuse. They could understand it. After all, they also did not know from where these rumors came from, but they did not believe it. After all, a small island like the Uzumaki country did not have the resources to create a larger village, a powerful village like a great village, not even to the size of Sunagakure. So they were here to end it all. Finally, in the shrine of the Uzumaki clan, last member of the Uzumaki clan was on his knees. He has exhausted all of his chakra, but he could feel it, the box. It was cracking far too quickly. It was cracking too quickly, while inside of the box Naruto Uzumaki, the most ancient evil in the Shinobi World finally opened his eyes as a laughter came from his mouth. Finally, it is time. I could feel the death of the Uzumaki clan. I could feel the darkness, the hatred, the souls. As he started to laugh, his aura erupted. For years, he was here, present in the box, so-called sealed away. But in reality, he was absorbing the darkness in the Shinobi world, the darkness that came from the very heart of the people. So many people died, and he was here absorbing all of that energy to make himself stronger, strong enough to do anything, strong enough to walk sideways in the Shinobi world. And it was time for him to rule. As he started to laugh while on the outside the box was cracking too quickly, and just like that it shattered. While on the outside the King Uzumaki was about to say something, and the third Raikage was ready to end this person. Suddenly the sky darkened as a black light shot to the sky as the whole sky darkened as if the night has fallen. While in Konoha village, Mito Uzumaki has just transferred the QB as she let out a sigh of relief, as it was the duty of her to pass the torch to the next generation. At least Konoha will have a new Jinchuriki, as she sighed inwardly, thinking of her husband, her father, even of her brother in the last moments. After all, thanks to being a Uzumaki, she can live a little for few minutes after the QB was extracted, but suddenly she felt it. The sky darkened, the evil energy. How's this even possible? As she could not believe it, in front of her were the Konoha senior management, third Hokage, as well as the elders. They were talking with Uzumaki for the last time, but suddenly they also felt the evil energy. The third Hokage looked back into the sky. It was a daytime, but as if the night has fallen upon the shinobi world. As Mito looked towards Hiruzen, as Hiruzen was also confused. Hiruzen, what have you done? At this, Hiruzen was also confused, wondering if Mito Uzumaki has found out about the current situation of the Uzumaki clan and what was going on here, this evil energy. But suddenly, he remembered what Mito Uzumaki had told him about that person. As he also looked toward the Mito Uzumaki, who was now paling even faster. The scare, the fear in her eyes and face was cannot be disguised. As she wanted to say something, but suddenly she grabbed her heart as she no longer had that strength. The only lost heart was of her brother. While in the Uzumaki island, a laughter could be heard. Finally, I'm free! As the whole sky and everything was turned into pure darkness. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. For the next part, the like goal is 200 likes, 80 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. And yeah guys, do subscribe to my other Naruto channels called the Scarlet Stories. The link is in the description below. So please guys, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my other Naruto channel. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.